Bro, this is peak Superman. This is peak DC right here. I love this show. My Adventures of Superman is such a fun, charming adventure with Clark, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen. I didn't think much of it when the first art promos and trailers dropped. I thought I was like, okay, cool, a little like fun Superman story that's gonna be passable at best. But no, I think after the first two episodes, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good right now. As of recording of this video, I've seen the 5th episode, and I'm in love. I haven't felt like this since first season of Young Justice way back when I was like 10, watching it on the Cartoon Network. I have that same like adventurous like superhero feeling, and I'm just happy because I just don't get that feeling anymore when it comes to modern day superhero stories. Everything's been kind of rocky the past couple of years, but this is like back to basics. I love it. My Adventures with Superman is pretty much an origin story of Clark Kent becoming Superman in his early adult life, being part as an intern at the Daily Planet with a young Lois and a young Jimmy Olsen. It's a very, very fun period, I think. Choosing this period specifically, we've seen Clark in high school so many times, Smallville, and we've seen Clark a lot as an adult in majority of the DCU movies. So I think this is a really, really nice period to put the characters in. Mix it with a anime influence style, enhances the experience, especially when they're going with the rom-com-y slice of life vibe, especially between Clark and Lois. It's super charming and cute and endearing. The relationship between Clark and Lois in this show reminds me so much of Videl and Gohan in Dragon Ball Z, specifically the Buu Saga. And if you guys know me, the Buu Saga growing up was my favorite like Dragon Ball saga in the entire series. Getting older now, I'd probably go Cell and Android's over it, but the Buu Saga, it has like such sentimental value, especially that beginning first half. It's pretty much like a slice of life arc in Dragon Ball with Gohan and Videl in that little high school period. I love it. It's basically that, but with Superman and Lois. And oh, it's so cute, it's adorable, I love it. Especially when they're doing like when they're adding like a romance in shows like this particularly. They're very, very 50-50 with me. They can be very, very cute and endearing, like how they succeeded, or it can be very, very annoying. A bunch of other superhero shows, I don't want to mention them, have done it, and it pisses me off. This is really nice. Keep it like that. It's definitely a different take on Superman. It's definitely more of an original, back to basics approach to Supes and the character. Him being more of a Boy Scout, clearly. You can see within the first episode where he like, the first thing he does is save a cat out of a tree. OG, Golden Age, Silver Age, Superman right there. Very Christopher Reeves inspired. It's very different from Zack Snyder's. Now don't get me wrong, I am a giant fan of Zack Snyder. I love his DC Snyderverse of films. They are the main reason why I fell in love with Superman in the first place. Thanks to him, I've really opened up to the character, and I can appreciate the different takes of Superman a lot more. There's definitely a big divide between the fan base, especially with Superman, with the Snyder Bros and Snyder fans, and like the classic OG Superman fans. All I'm going to say is just be open-minded. Enjoy every iteration of Superman that we have. Look at Batman. No one complains about different versions of Batmans. For some reason, Superman, oh god, it's like a war. Let's just enjoy it. Fair enough, it's okay criticizing, especially with Snyder. I can understand how some people just can't connect with Snyder Superman. That's perfectly fine. More power to you if you enjoyed it or didn't like it. I enjoyed it. But back to this show, I'm curious how far this is going to go, because 5 episodes in, I'd say 3 episodes in, it kind of felt like an episodic adventure with the series between Clark, Lois and Supes. But 5 episodes in, you're like, oh, okay, no, there's definitely an overarching story arc to this narrative. Again, I can't really say that much. I want to keep it spoiler free as possible, but there are characters from the DC universe that are popping up within Superman's lore and other DC characters as well. Definitely a unique take on a certain character that I won't mention, but he's a lot younger, and I don't think it kind of took me off guard for a bit. I'm just going to mention it, but I think it's Deathstroke, Slade Olsen. People might be a bit annoyed with like his design and that he's like a kid, but again, just be open-minded. He's clearly at that point where he's kind of developing into the super soldier he'll eventually become, but right now he's just a mercenary lapdog for Amanda Waller and the government and the US government, basically. But bro, it's this Superman, man, like, this is the Superman I would like to be. This is the kind of Clark that you would pretty much chill with, play games with, play football with. He's extremely goofy and endearing and charming. Same thing with Lois. I think Lois, for some reason, people don't understand how to write her. And I think they, again, going with this like, it's perfect age gap with Lois and Clark. She has that youth and charm, but also she has that like heediness and strength of a journalist and reporter, but it doesn't come off as in like a very like hyper masculine way. If you guys know what I mean. I don't want to like turn this into like a feminism thing, but the writers are doing it correct. I think I really like this version of Lois. Again, the tomboy look, I dig it. They made her like there's definitely a big like height gap between Lois and Clark. Again, I love it. Definitely the tomboy look, again, Videl and Gohan. Tell me you do not see Videl and Gohan. Bro, the anime vibes, I think it's a perfect choice to go with more of an Eastern, Western influence together. We have seen this before in previous like cartoons Teen Titans, the classic Teen Titans, Avatar: The Last Airbender series, and Legend of Korra, very Eastern-inspired influence. Like Cyberpunk and Arcane, how a lot more people, especially since like I think post-COVID, there's a lot more audience, there's a lot more people watching anime. So adding more of that anime influence is just better for everyone. It's a good gateway in, specifically for people who are not into anime. I think it's just a good gateway for non-anime watchers to slip through into watching more Japanese anime. Besides the Gohan Videl thing, Superman has like a full-on like Power Ranger, Super Sentai, Sailor Moon transformation. I loved it. I love the flashbacks within each episode. Very, very Man of Steel inspired, I must say. How we have like just glimpses of Clark's past. I love the fact that again, like he doesn't know until to the point where he's an adult to learn about his heritage. Because yeah, it wouldn't make sense, like as a kid you'd be like, what the hell is this? You'd freak out and just run away. Finally discovering and using his powers, he has to go back. When he meets his projection of his dad, it's a different language. That's something I just never understood when it comes to like, I guess superhero movies and comic book movies and fantasy movies, where they like speak the same language of the same people from a different race or different planet or whatever. Something like that I really appreciate, how Kryptonians are a completely different language. I also personally believe this would be a great like blueprint for James Gunn to follow within the Superman Legacy movie he's making. I'm just theorizing at the moment, but I think this, like, My Adventures with Superman could just be like a, kind of like an off-key pitch to see how a blueprint of this kind of Superman would work within a live-action setting in modern day. And I wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn is using this as a blueprint to write his own and direct his own Superman movie. I think we're in such a golden age of being a Superman fan. This show, the upcoming Superman Legacy movie, Superman and Lois, it's a really good year to get into Superman, especially if you're new. And yeah, I can't wait. It just puts a smile to my face. I don't think we don't get that in cartoons anymore. I do have nitpicks for it, I can't lie. I think there's clear usage of CGI, especially in the first two episodes. Superman is fighting robots, and you're like, okay, that's there. Come on, like it's kind of obvious. It's a CG model in a 2D environment. Again, it didn't take me out of it, but it's just something I noticed. Absolutely love it. So yeah, what are your thoughts on My Adventures with Superman? Please let me know down below. And yeah, I shall see you guys next time. Peace. Shh.